Success in farming is all about precision and efficiency, ensuring every seed, every drop of water, every nutrient and treatment counts. TerraPlex Ag is helping farmers all over Iowa and the Midwest do just that. With precision ag drone technology and support from TerraPlex, you'll boost your productivity and make timely and informed decisions, all while reducing your costs and increasing your profit. It's time to revolutionize your farming. Harvest the benefits with TerraPlex Ag. Visit TerraPlexAg.com.
Chris Williams, Brent Blum. From the Northwest Bank Studios, it's Williams and Blum, presented by Mechdyne, on the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network.
What is up? It is the, what is today? It's the 28th of September, 2025. It's a Sunday night, and the varsity football program up at Iowa State University is 5-0. Those boys are playing some good ball up there this year, Brent.
That was fun yesterday, wasn't it?
Well,
pretty satisfying.
It was very satisfying. The second half was a little bit
Got a little
desired,
weird,
but
yeah. And by and large, I think everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I do too. It's just like
it seemed.
It felt like every 2 seconds somebody would get hurt.
Yeah, that one series.
It was like,
right,
hey, can we just enjoy this?
Get the game over with, please.
Can we just please enjoy the shellacking of a Big 12 team? No, absolutely not, says the football god.
Yeah.
You will not be able to enjoy this, Iowa State fan.
Never easy. Never easy.
It was easy. Like it was just like, God dang. Yeah. And then all the reviews and it was just the longest second half ever. But hey, the varsity football program at Iowa State University is 5-0. It's ranked in the top 15 again. And it's got a big game now on Saturday with Cincinnati going into Kansas and winning, which we'll get to that. We want to thank our presenting sponsor, Mechdyne, of course. Check them out at MECHDYNE.com. We are in the Northwest Bank Studios. Go and switch over your checking account. I know it's not like a sexy thing. Well, actually, there's probably a lot of you kids that are going to graduate in December that are listening. We have a huge... Get your first professional checking account at Northwest Bank.
It's really not that hard.
No. You walk in.
See my guy Chase in Ankeny. Old Chase Winterbore. You know him.
I know Chris Chase. Yeah. Shout out to Chase.
What's up, Chase? My guy
Chase
in Ankeny.
Is a smart guy.
Yes. And we're fans of Chase's now. Chase Smith.
Chase Smith with an elite field goal from 34 yards.
Right down the middle.
Perfect form.
Yeah.
Iowa State rolls. Okay. So we'll break it all down. The Chase Sowell coming out party.
Another Chase. We got Chases all over the place.
And then Chase Elliott won the race today.
Look at all the Chases.
Which is why we're recording so late, because I was glued to that. I couldn't get away from it. Real quick, I think Iowa State won this game by getting out early. It quickly made
no doubt
Arizona pretty one-dimensional because they were able to run the ball, if you break it down. But the problem was Arizona and Seth Dagey got behind so much early by that Iowa State. What Iowa State just and the crowd was a big part of that. Like that place was electric at kickoff. Great job, everybody getting in your seats. Just all that stuff just was perfect. And the fears that I had with that offense were quickly negated because they were down by 15 so quickly, and they're kind of like in panic mode. We've got to throw, and I don't think that they probably wanted Fafita to throw it 45 times or 40 times or whatever it was. And Iowa State just kind of, I thought Brent did whatever it wanted to do for the most part of that football game. When it was running for 3 yards a game, that's what they were wanting to do. They were wanting to burn clock. When they wanted to go downfield, they went downfield. They took it, and really impressive night for Iowa State.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think, in the past couple of years, maybe one of the more impressive Big 12 outings for Iowa State. Now, obviously, it's had some great wins in there, but a lot of times went down to the wire, was really stressful at the end. But that was too script. Like if you were to ask the coaches, how do you want this thing to start? It was that. Mm-hmm. It's, go down and score, get the cool 2-point conversion, which I thought was a great call. With all the uncertainty around the kicking game,
incredible.
That was.
I mean, it was almost like they were giving Saul a middle finger.
Yeah,
like,
it's actually.
Oh, they're just gonna go for 2 all the time.
It was great.
Well, no, we're not, but we can if we want.
I know. I thought it was great. Then you get a stop, you punch it in again.
Because I could see Mauser and Campbell being like, "Hey, this will be hilarious."
Oh,
like
I
could see them in their little room, like drawing that up. We're gonna do a swinging gate.
They're. We laughed, but that's exactly probably what happened.
Yeah,
they were seeing the noise all week. Like, it'd be funny if we go for 2 and with some old-fashioned
just make everybody think that that's what the thing is.
And then, thankfully, Smith was good the rest of the way. But no, you're right. Like we talked about last week, Arizona had not been behind all year, and they're going to be a team that is really good when playing with a lead because they can run it. But Iowa State, was able to contain Fafita enough, and their little running back really never got on track, when that was a ball game. And I thought Rocco was absolute perfection in that first half. I think you're starting to see it now. The value that guy has, it's not only his arm talent, but just his intelligence. It just feels like Iowa State has another coach on the field with that guy. And extra cool to see Chase Sowell get a couple big ones early. That we all know it. That adds another dimension to Iowa State's offense. If that guy can do that, and again, he's not going to do 150 yards every game, but the downfield threat with that big body, he made some contested catches as well. Just super, super clean all the way around. Bramer got involved again in a couple ways. Only concerns now, obviously the injuries on the defense doesn't sound like it's anything too troubling. What Matt said in the post game that Dom could have gone back in, which is the big question everybody has. I think John Tez could have gone back in. The only one that's a little bit maybe questionable, I would say, be Cummings-Coleman.
Yeah, his looked bad.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's like a season ender, but it looked like he came back on the sideline in a sling.
Yeah,
that's what I was told.
Okay, well then that's obviously probably not ideal. And
well, that doesn't necessarily mean catastrophic.
No,
like you can separate a shoulder and or
AC
you know what I mean,
joint or something.
Yeah. But I'm just saying it looked bad. Like the amount of pain he was in.
Yeah.
It looked like shot to the rib or a clavicle or I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know,
and I think we'll find out. And then obviously the Jeremiah Cooper news, which we kind of knew beforehand, so it wasn't maybe as devastating as Matt revealed in the postgame. But I know a lot of fans didn't know that,
yeah.
And so that's
why another reason you should be a subscriber.
Shot to the system, but I mean, by and large, the thing with college football, C-Dub, you're going to get injured. Like you can always do the whole woe is us and oh my gosh, only Iowa State, but the reason you have 105 players on the roster is to deal with adversity, deal with injuries. There is not one football team, NFL college football, is going to have a clean bill of health to all of its best players. It's just going to happen. And that's where, candidly, I have a lot of confidence in this Iowa State group because not only are they getting some injuries, getting banged up, but so is everybody else. And it's the depth in your program that really should shine then in October, November when you do have some guys banged up.
I didn't realize that the big man from Cincinnati was out.
Corleone.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge. That's like an NFL top first-round draft pick.
Yeah, and they are not – defensively, they have not been great. I know it's our buddy Tyson Veit, but where Cincinnati's been unbelievably good, they're third in the country in offense right now.
Yeah, we got a lot to break down in the next week with this team. They're a problem. Like, they're an actual problem. Like, that was a big win for them at Kansas. I didn't see it coming. I thought they'd get beat by double digits.
Over 8 yards per play offensively. I mean, that is significant. Now, they've had a couple laughers in there against bad opponents that steep that up. But you go in there and win in Lawrence, you have my respect.
Absolutely. Well, we'll get to the Cincinnati game. But you mentioned Sowell. Shout out to Trey Bell in his first start.
Yeah,
I thought he was
good.
Really, really good. That's the thing about this Iowa State team now. It's like with God, when John Tez went down in the fourth quarter, it's just like, oh no, because that would be a problem.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine.
Correct. The thing is about Jeremiah Cooper, so he's obviously really good, and that sucks. Trey Bell's really good too, and I feel like I could make an argument that I actually feel more comfortable with him than I did Miles Purchase, and opposite of John Tez Williams.
Okay,
and he's like in an NFL practice roster. So
yep.
okay, so take it for what it's worth. You can disagree with that. The problem now is just depth. You start chipping away at these guys, which I liked what they were doing in the fourth quarter, getting Quentin Taylor out there. They were running like different combinations of corners and stuff. And I don't know why John Tez was still in the game when he was, but it is what it is. The defense, you're not as good without Coop. We all know that, but it's not this like catastrophic drop off. What about getting 14 back? Made all the difference in the world with the linebackers. Carson Willick, big game.
Yeah, that was fun to see. He was great. I thought Cooper Ebel played a great game too. So the thing is, these linebackers are still fairly young at some spots, and they're getting better. So yeah, Willick was fantastic. Definitely changed the speed of that defense. Another break Iowa State caught, and it got glossed over. But Neal was really close to that targeting penalty in the second half. And as you guys know the rule, if you'd be ejected for that second half, but then you'd have to miss the first half of the Cincinnati game as well. And it was really, really close. So I don't blame Neal there. I mean, the guy went low and he went low too, but that would have really hurt your secondary depth as well. I thought Neal was great again. Yeah, I just think, sure, would you want a clean bill of health? Absolutely. That was kind of stressful in that fourth quarter when guys kept going down. But injuries happen. Coops happened in a non-contact drill in practice. Like, things happen. It can be kind of unlucky. It's just a part of why you have football's a game of attrition. It really is, and that's where the depth is coming out. And this is why C-Dub in this era, I think the Iowa States of the world, can have at the 2s and the 3s sometimes as good of players as those upper tier schools, because those upper tiers can't just stockpile talent anymore. They all transfer and they leave. Mm-hmm. So it's not the same, and that's why I think Iowa State is going to be better in October, November, and which is, again, follow me here. They're 5-0, so obviously it's hard to be better than 5-0 in September.
And your schedule gets a lot tougher.
It does, but they've been built. This team is built, unlike last year's team, which was a little bit top heavy talent wise. They're built for depth here, and
last year's team. Granted, they went 10-2, played for a championship, and won a bowl game. So like they're a bit of a paper tiger, only in the sense they didn't have the. They couldn't stop the run. Right. Like, so you felt like you were constantly kind of like juggling knives. You know what I mean?
That's why yesterday was so enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like you just kind of shut them down.
Like that's why like,
that's a great point.
It's why like Ferentz's Iowa teams were always just kind of like 8-4, because they didn't play at a style where it's like there's not like an up, and it helped being in the Big Ten West, obviously. Right, like where if you're throwing the ball 50 times a game, it's like it's no different than watching TJ Otzelberger's team.
Yeah.
Right, like when you just play defense all the time, when you can't stop the run, and last year's team you really have no idea what to expect on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah, you're dead on. You have
and
to
this
score
year's
40
team
points,
is
then.
Well, and it leads me into, because I thought the offensive line was really good.
I did too.
Saturday night. Like, come on, guys. You guys have crapped all over this. You fans, I read your tweets. Like, give them their flowers. They had a really nice game.
It happened all year. If you think about it. They've been really consistent.
That's why I think it's pretty sustainable what they're doing.
Totally agree. Yes. That is well said. So between the offensive line and Rocco, and you got some emerging guys like Sowell at receiver, you feel really good about that side of the ball. And I feel awesome about Haycock's crew. I know they've got some injuries now, but you're talking about a group that is back to what the mean has been, the average has been for the Haycock era. Chris, they're top 20 in scoring defense and total defense, top 25 in run defense again. This is the Iowa State we're used to, not last year, which was the outlier, and I think that means good things going forward. But they'll be tested, no doubt. As it gets harder, this Cincinnati game is the hardest on the schedule so far.
Well, they're now an underdog.
Yeah.
We'll do all that in our guessing the point spreads, but yeah, Iowa State is now an underdog in that game.
Do we complain about the AP poll? Do I want to lose sleep over this, or just
You can get to that, but right now we need to celebrate the Cyclone victory.
The Neil Diamond Musical, A Beautiful Noise, the uplifting true story, featuring all the songs you love from his Grammy Award-winning career. October 21st through 26th at Des Moines Civic Center. On sale at dmpa.org.
Look at this cool Sweet Caroline
A Beautiful
hoodie I've got on.
Noise.
I told you I was going to wear it. Look at this. It says Sweet Caroline on the arms,
buddy.
and on the back it says so good, so good, so good.
What's the date of that show?
21st to the 26th of October. I'm taking the girls on a date. It's going to be fantastic.
Well, what are the odds Iowa State's undefeated? Well, before
it's happening. The university program up there at Iowa State.
I mean, you got to wear that.
Boys are,
point is, CW, you got to wear that sweatshirt every Sunday the rest of the week.
Friday night, all I drank was Guinness.
So you did your part. Okay.
Yep. I'm not backing up. The problem is the fairway here in town is having a hard time keeping the nitrogen Guinness things on tap.
You're buying them out
because I'm literally buying like 2 a week right now. It's becoming a problem.
So you're going to Boulder.
Yes.
Are you counting on finding Guinness out there? I mean, you should be able to find Guinness.
I mean, it is like the world's most popular beer, isn't it?
One would think you'd be able to find it. Yeah.
But they got all the like earthy,
they got big IPA group over there. And now the
that's
THC stuff. They probably got a lot of THC stuff out there too. CBD.
Lord knows I don't need any of that right now because it would put me to sleep and I wouldn't wake up for like 2 weeks.
Don't take that before the Neil Diamond show, or maybe do.
Shout out to Colin Newell. Appreciate him. Farm Bureau Financial Services for sponsoring the show as always. We'll have a new Inside Zone with him and Jyrell Brock, Jake Rimsberg, and Jacqueline Cordova. I know they're recording that tonight, so look for that in your Cyclone Fanatic podcast feed as well. The AP poll, so Iowa State stays at 14. I mean, we can do this. We can have this conversation. But
it's not going to be productive.
I just feel like it's the same thing.
It is.
And then, being a voter now, not in the AP poll, but in a different poll, it is hard. And the problem is, and I don't know how the AP does it, but like you're not given anything like as far as, well, this is how you're supposed to vote. So it's really just a subjective cesspool.
I know.
And this is why I'm always, and Big 12 fans get mad at me. Like we're just constantly fighting this perception thing. And this is part of the problem with these massive super leagues because it's just they just beat each other, but then they don't get penalized for it because there's a perception that they're better, right? Like so, I don't know where you go other than just beating them in the playoffs and when you get your chances in the non-con. I mean, that's why we, as Big 12 guys, make such a big deal out of those opportunities in September.
Absolutely. I mean, it's in no world does it make sense other than perception. Okay, let's remove perception. That Penn State would still be ranked in the top 10 for its current resume of beating. What have they done? They beat Nevada. They beat Nevada.
Nevada's got a good squad this year.
Well, like always, good solid kicking program there. Good soccer program too. Home of the Hollands. We know the Hollands.
Yeah,
Kirk and Encyclopedia.
They're up there now.
Ryan. Well, I think Ryan's an attorney up
there.
Oh
yeah. That's where they're like from.
That's where they're from. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had some battles with
I
Nevada.
didn't know that Kirk moved there. I had
some battles with Nevada back in my day at Waukee. But so they beat Nevada, they beat FIU, and they beat Villanova, and they lost a close game to Oregon at home.
Started number 1.
But they started number 1, and this is where like it's maddening. The argument from those folks is like, are you telling me Penn State's not one of the top 10 most talented teams in the country? No, I'm not. I think they probably are. But you cannot rank based on projections here. Maybe people do. And CW, if that's what they're doing, then you're totally hosed. And you're right. It won't change unless Big 12 wins some games in the playoff. The frustrating part, I get it for Iowa State. Because Iowa State, CW, you could look at that Arkansas State game and say, hey, you only beat Arkansas State by 8. Okay, but fine. But at Texas Tech, what has Texas Tech done? They've destroyed everybody, including a win on the road at Utah by 3 touchdowns. A Utah team that was in the top 20 and clearly is really good, but yet they can't jump Penn State. I mean, I
think I had Tech number 5 in my poll.
Yeah, you can't argue that Tech doesn't have talent because they do. So what's the argument here? Is it just that they're in the Big 12?
The problem is that I would say like half of the AP voters have no business voting in the poll. just being honest. It's ridiculous.
This is why I am teamed. I'm team Texas Tech.
It's a bad poll.
It is. But I wish then you get the other people to say it doesn't really matter. That's not true. Unfortunately, it doesn't.
Perception matters massively in this whole thing. And when that number is next to you, it matters.
When you have human beings doing the final committee rankings, they look at, hey, was that a big win or was that a bad loss?
And then you have these like AP voters that don't even watch the games. They don't. Like,
yeah.
I'm telling you, I sit in these press boxes with a lot of the voters. You see them come through, like they're at one game. They're like, and then we have to, like, the poll I'm in is due at like 7 a.m. on Sunday. You don't have time to go and do the whole DVR thing and study like they're not paying that much attention.
Here's my thing, and
they're scoreboard watching.
Totally, and this is a circular argument. We're not going to win it. We're not going to convince anybody differently today. I realize that, so it's just a waste of time. However, if I was voting, I know it'll shake out in the end. I do. So when somebody loses, drop them. That's all I'm asking. If they have a loss and somebody else doesn't have a loss and they've played comparable schedules, and Iowa State and Penn State's schedule, if you look at strength of record, ESPN's own stat, Iowa State is significantly higher. So is Texas Tech compared to Penn State. But Penn State gets the benefit of the doubt because they beat a bad Boise team in the playoff last year. I mean, I guess I just wish the scoreboard will matter. And I know it'll shake out in time, hopefully. But if they lose a game, let's drop them. Let's for Florida State lose a game. They got dropped. And honestly, I feel worse. I feel bad for Iowa State here, although it'll work out. But even Texas Tech, it's going to be really hard for them now. And it makes it more difficult, depending on how this whole thing goes, to get 2 Big 12 teams in the playoff, which absolutely affects your future revenue opportunities and staying competitive. It's a rigged system.
It's rigged, I tell you.
It's rigged. But hey, 5-0 still matters. Can't take that away.
I want to pick your brain on something else somewhat controversial. We'll thank Chappie first, Andrew Chaplin, Hunziker. Chappie's getting these. If you go to Welch Avenue Station coming up, have you ever been there?
A few times, yeah.
We're gonna have these little, the little thingamajigs that you put your beer on.
The coasters, they call
coasters.
Those, yeah.
There's gonna be a Chappie / Cyclone Fanatic like QR code and like cool stuff on there.
I love it. I was talking to some Arizona guys. I said, where should we go? Well, while we're here, I said, you got to go to Welch Avenue Station. That's free advertising, Welch Avenue Station.
Yeah, they don't pay us. We've tried.
Yeah, we have.
They're kind of like Hickory Park. Like, we don't need to pay people.
Pay us in Brooke Burke posters, at least.
Yeah. Where was I going with this? Oh,
controversial hot take.
It's not a controversial. I think most people will agree with me. But these reviews, like,
I know.
I thought, thank God Iowa State won by 30 or whatever it was. I don't even know. That was a painful ass game to be at live. And I say that, and I had like a computer in front of me with like, I'm watching all the other games. And
yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. But like the injuries you can't do anything about. Like that happens. It's football, whatever. The amount of that with the freaking reviews and all the media timeouts, like I thought last night's game, and this is nobody's fault, like at Iowa State. I actually think that they've done a really good job this year. It feels like the in-stadium experience is better.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, I feel like it is. Last night was just like you're 12 seconds in, they review the fumble, whatever. They overviewed it, they overturned it, got the call right. Great. This is what it's for. Like, how many freaking like hits can we look at? Like, it just felt completely overdone. Now, as a question I would have for you, being an official, these guys get penalized if they get it wrong, though, right? So, like,
yeah,
what do you want here? Again, like, I don't think anything we're going to discuss here is going to change anything, but I don't know what's right. I do know all those people had a really good time last night at the game, sold out crowd, but and Iowa State's kind of been on this different trajectory for a while where we've seen attendance increase while everybody else goes down. But I understand, like, last night, why people would choose to just stay at home where I can still watch Georgia, Bama. I can watch all the other games that are going on, because that was damn near a 4-hour game last night.
I keep telling college football needs to take notes from the NFL in regards to the efficiency of these games. And so there's a couple things you could do and fix pretty easily, in my opinion. number one is get the challenge system in place. You just give. I mean, it's just so much. It's so much better. It makes it a little more strategic as well. You can't. I understand wanting to challenge everything, but having just 3 of them quickens the pace. I thought what the ACC is doing now, CW, is really good to keep attention at least on TV in regards to getting that communication going between the replay official and the in-game official. I think that's really good content. I think that is helpful for the fan. I think it helps bring light to what the officials have to go through when they're doing those things. Now, how do you do that in the stadium? I'm not sure it'd be difficult, but I do think having some light shown on how that process works would make it go faster. But the easiest thing they can do, but again, we're talking about Fox and ESPN who don't get along, and in the NFL, they mandate C-Dub. They mandate TV timeouts. The sequencing, the length, all of those things. They mandate halftime length. In college football, it's a free-for-all. Fox has this is 100% true.
That's staggering to me what you're saying. I don't even believe you.
Fox has its own timeout structure relative to ESPN. If you're on Fox, C-Dub, those TV timeouts are 3.5 minutes. If you're on ESPN, they're 2:30 or 3 minutes. But there's there's more of them. And so depending on what channel you are on, the length of the timeouts is actually longer. What the NFL does is says, no, team, you report to us. We decide how long these TV timeouts are. And watch an average NFL game. I looked it up this morning. The average length of an NFL game is 2 hours and 56 minutes.
I was going to guess under 3. Wow.
The average length of a college football game right now is 3:35.
Oh, my God.
It's just, you can't. But they allow Fox and ESPN, and I'm not faulting them. Like, I would take it if I could get it. But because all these conferences are separate, they all acquiesce to the TV partner, and the TV partner says, let's keep these TV timeouts long, even though it's terrible for the product. I mean, nobody says, let's get more TV timeouts. And the NFL has figured it out and still makes a crap ton of money. This is where it comes. Everything revolves back to Cody Campbell here. What he's trying to do with the sports
of the program,
Sports Broadcasting Act is to mandate that college football would own the rules of TV essentially, and so then you get more partners, you make more revenue. You also would reduce TV timeouts, by the way, because you could mandate they have to do this in order to get the contract. So that's a long-winded answer to say it's several.
It's taking
problems.
The power back for your own sport.
It is now, and here's the other issue, and I don't blame the band. We're team band here, but the average halftime in the NFL is what, 12 or 14 minutes, and by the time halftime gets done with the bands and all the production on the field at college, I mean, I think it's 18 or 20 on the scoreboard. It's a lot of times it's closer to 22 or 24, and so there's another 10 minutes. So we've done this to ourselves, but it's not good. It doesn't work, and that was the theme of my tailgate after the game. I was like, man, that these games are just taking way
Everybody
too long.
I talked to was saying that.
Yeah.
Now,
way
again,
too long.
When you win like that, it's not a big deal, and everybody's just okay with it. But, God, it just – that second half was brutal.
I encourage the powers that be of college football to start thinking about fan friendliness a little bit here. It's just
especially when, like, it's not like ticket prices are going down. You know, like that's the argument I always make when people start complaining about like or comparing TV revenue and stuff. It's like, okay, like if you're in the Big Ten, like are your hot dogs cheaper at games?
right.
Because you got that new deal with Peacock. No, like none of this is for the fans. You got to think about them a little bit, or there's going to be a point of diminishing returns.
And so far it hasn't happened yet. TV ratings are still really high for college football.
Well, I'm not worried about the TV. Yeah. I'm worried about the in-game.
No, that's true.
That the TV is not a big deal because it's like, oh, I'm going to go take a leak, go get another beer. I need to go let my dog out.
You can multi-screen the thing at home.
When you're there.
Yeah. No, that's
true.
And
you see it, and like the stadiums are trying to do things. Like Iowa State brought in an in-game host. They've, like last night they were doing some sort of like competition where everybody was yelling. People seem to really enjoy that. Like I don't.
They do the Heidi Ho thing now occasionally.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. No, okay.
There's
there you go. Old man yelling at clouds.
No, it's true, but it's a situation, C-Dub. But what college sports has always defaulted to is TV partners over everything. They let them run the rules, essentially, for the most part.
Yeah.
Instead of the other way around. And maybe that makes every more money then.
In the Bulls.
Quite candidly. Did you see who was there last night?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to go up to the Orange Bowl guy in the press box and be like, "Why are you here?" This is what I wanted to say to him.
So,
what, sir? What could you possibly get out of being here? Like, are you going to make a decision on your bowl game based on what happens on September 27th?
those guys, I was all over the place yesterday just talking to some donors, and I saw them at like 8 different parts of the stadium. Like any premium area they could get into, they were
getting free drinks.
They were in it.
You know, guarantee they got wined and dined on Friday night.
Well,
there's nobody who's just sucked the blood out of college football more than the bowl people.
I saw them up in the Jack Trice Club. I saw them up in the suite, and then I saw them in Pollard's private area.
I guarantee it. And if you're like Iowa State and they come, you have to do it.
You gotta do it.
Because if you don't, like everybody else already has. It used to be a big thing. I was talking to Dan McCarney in this about this when he was telling me about when he got the call that they were going to the Insight.com Bowl in 2000.
Okay.
And he had been like politicking behind the scenes. He knew the guy who ran that bowl, which is like with the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
Dan knew him through and Dan had been like recruiting them to like take Iowa State. And like Dan is the one who got the call. And he was telling me that he got it. He was in the parking lot, like, I don't think there would have been cell phones, but he led me to believe like he had a cell phone.
Could have been a cell phone by then, yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been.
And like that was how it used to work, where you were constantly giving these bowl guys like kickbacks.
Yeah,
like they would always be like, hey, it was kind of a sleazy system.
Because it was a committee choice. Like you wanted to keep the committee happy.
Yeah. And now, but it doesn't really matter. Like for the Orange Bowl, it's like you're just going to take whoever just falls into your lap. Like it's not.
This is why I was super. I almost asked them. I almost did. They're a quarterfinal this year.
Yeah,
so
like
they don't
it doesn't matter.
They don't pick.
Yeah,
it is not their choice.
Just taking this free trip.
So
they're just gonna whatever they spend to get here. Like it's gonna. They're just putting it up against the band. Well, your band cost is going to be, we had a long night names one night in September.
So we're going to have to increase ticket prices. Like they serve, honestly.
What a great thing what a great thing from 40 years ago in college football. It was awesome. It's different now.
Those guys serve zero purpose. It's a quarterfinal. There's a game before the Orange Bowl to get to the Orange Bowl. They don't get a pick. I was baffled. I almost said something, but I was like, no, not my place. I'll just talk about it on the podcast.
Aiden Wyatt knows my thoughts on the Bulls.
Oh, my gosh.
And he was quick to point out that the Orange Bowl guys were behind me for a while, and he's like, be nice. I was like, I'm not going to say anything to him. I can't.
I had about 20 people tag me with photos of these guys in the parking lots.
Were they wearing like orange blazers?
Oh, yeah. Even though it's 85 out.
The Blazers, man. Oh, he's got the Blazers.
I'm pretty sure the
Pop-Tart people.
I'm pretty sure the Pop-Tart people were there too.
He was wearing like a Hawaiian type shirt.
Yeah.
Like they don't take themselves that seriously.
No,
like, do we need to be here? Like,
I think no. The answer is no.
Which is fine. Like, if you want to come and visit, I guess I don't care. But I guarantee you there's some sort of, like, condition that had to be met.
Those gentlemen didn't pay for their flight. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, no, it's their organization. Yeah. And then they drum up the price on tickets to the game so they can pay for their lavish lifestyle. Death to the BCS. Dan Wetzel. It's the greatest sports book ever written.
Honestly,
it completely changed the way you view it all.
I admire them for still fighting the good fight.
Yeah.
You're like, hey.
Well, but
we're gonna keep going.
I can be objective here. Like there was a time when it was really cool, the bowl thing, right?
Yeah,
like
it's prestigious. It was
it was a massive deal to get in the bowl game and to like I even I've been doing a lot of research on the just the history of Iowa State the last couple of years, and like I remember I watched it back as some prep, the Independence Bowl that like Meyer and Blythe and those guys all played in, and Flynn, and like how big of a deal they played Miami of Ohio in Shreveport, Mississippi, and it was
Louisiana,
whatever,
and
it was like a huge freaking deal.
Yeah, When Iowa State made its first bowl game in 2000, it was honestly the highlight of my life up to that point.
Could you imagine like Austin Flynn being like, "Hey, I got to sit this thing out. I don't want to get hurt. I got a big NFL tryout coming up. Got the combine."
Played Miami of Ohio.
It's just this terrible Miami of Ohio team.
Maybe we'll see some other bowl reps in Boulder.
The old school bowl stuff is really interesting, though. Like how it all came together. Like it's not all shit, but then the Rose Bowl just ruined it for everybody, and then they all started trying to mimic them, and like not everything can be Pasadena in the Rose Bowl, right? Like it's all, God.
Yeah, it still serves a purpose. What doesn't serve a purpose is several gentlemen traveling from Miami to Ames for no real apparent reason other than they wanted to. And they get wined and dined accordingly.
Well, for whatever it's worth, I still think the Bulls have a place in our future.
I do too. I like the games.
I'm not get rid of the Bulls.
I am with you. I am entertained by Bulls. This system we have put in place is just so backwards in a lot of ways.
Well, I hope
but honestly, C-Dub, it makes it fun because get earmuffs, kids. This sport, in particular college football, is completely batshit crazy. It is. Yeah. There is zero logic to it. Like the polls, you throw like all this stuff, and then you throw in the competing networks and the competing conferences. Like the NFL is almost too logical relative to college football. College football makes zero sense, and from that aspect, it's brilliant in that way.
Speaking of brilliance, let's give a shout out to our friends, Doctors Wormy and Greenwald, down at the McFarland Clinic. They were busy on Saturday night, unfortunately. They're the orthopedic boys down there working on the cyclones. Hopefully, we already heard about Coop.
He's gonna have
Matt
surgery.
Campbell told us after the game, so that sucks.
Yeah. But I know Coop's in good hands.
You're damn right he is. He's going to come back better than ever, and he can play next year too. Which is
I was
huge.
just going to say that is newsworthy. He only played in 4 games, so he still has his red shirt, so he can come back. And I had a lot of conversations about this in the tailgating lots. I think the dynamic has changed quite a bit too. So I say Coop was probably mid to late round NFL draft pick as a corner. That's why he moved to corner. He may not have been picked as a safety. It would have been interesting, but he was a smaller guy. But now, C-Dub, he will make more next year, even at Iowa State, than he would as an undrafted free agent for sure. Mm-hmm. So it makes the calculation a lot easier to come back now because
unless he would transfer somewhere else, he will be in Iowa. He'll come to college.
Yeah, so he can still transfer absolutely. So it's not like Iowa State is so yeah. Keep on funding. We will. Like, don't get me wrong here.
I put it on a tee.
Yeah, but that's the good part. Good relatively here. Is these guys can still, unlike years past, like, your buddy, C-Dub, I still think of him when I think about NIL to this day, Adam Carper, who got hurt as a sophomore or a junior.
Yeah.
And, basically ended his athletic career.
His career.
Yeah, ended his career. He made zero. He got a scholarship, he took advantage of it, but at least now Coop can come back. He's obviously getting paid. He has been getting paid. He can get paid again next year. And then also get that medical treatment as well. I think when we start talking about, oh my gosh, all these players are making X, Y, and Z amounts of money, well, the other end of it is if you get hurt, and there are some significant injuries in football in particular, the guys in the past had no recourse there. They had no health insurance beyond when they left. They had none of that stuff. And so I think if you look at it from that lens, is at least now these athletes who are putting themselves in substantial harm in some cases can benefit monetarily off of it for continuing to stay and play football.
Great point. Yeah. That was the first thing that came to my mind, too, is that he'll be a highly paid individual to come back next year.
He will. And Iowa State's going to have to fight off some big schools to
after the injury.
Even after the injury.
He's that good.
Yeah, and he will be, timeline-wise, they're not, I don't know how significant the knee injury is, but he will be back by next opening practice.
I don't know any of the specifics, but it did sound like they possibly avoided the worst case scenario with it.
Yeah, from
what I was told, which would be great because you don't want the Dante Culpepper one or the Carper one. You just can't come back.
You can't come back.
It's just, especially at a position like that. It didn't sound like this would be that.
So that's, I guess, my optimist is, hey, now you at least have a really good secondary guy coming back next year, and because the question's now going to be, C-Dub, for Jontez Williams, does he look at the NFL? Even a Rocco, I think Rocco's going to have a decision to make.
I do too.
Really do.
Well, it's funny. You led me right into it. I have his stats pulled up.
Okay.
What did we say at the beginning of the year we wanted from Rocco?
Yes. More accuracy.
Completion percentage
yes.
is right now at a career high 65.8%. 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Now, I would say the 1 interception was in garbage time last night. I think he was trying to force it to keep his streak going.
Yep.
And then the other one was not his fault. At Arkansas State goes off of Ben Bramer's hands. Rocco has not only cleaned it up, he is playing some of the best quarterback in the entire country, not just the Big 12 conference right now. I do too. I'm starting to think about this more, where, like, best case scenario for Iowa State, he's got a real decision to make, and then, it's like, do you want to be a 4th round pick, or do you want to come back? And he chooses to come back. Like that's kind of like where I think this is going to head.
Yeah, and if it was 4 years ago, you definitely go.
Yes.
It's not.
But now, and it'll be like, do this, and then you can be a 1st round pick.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I don't sense that Rocco is probably going to look to leave as long as Iowa State's taking care of him.
Right.
Because of the development thing, and then just the comfort thing, and great relationship with your coordinator, all that.
All the above. But how reassuring is it to have that guy back there? I mean, he is so calm. Everybody respects him. He had Arizona on a string there in the first half. I thought Mouse did a great job calling plays. It was I think Iowa State's upside on offense continues to grow. And look at the Cincinnati game, C-Dub. They may need 30. They may need to get up to 30-35 to win it on Saturday morning in Cincinnati.
This is funny. I hope Jake Brand listens to this. He threw together for some fans like this Big 12 fantasy football thing. Yeah. And I drafted Rocco, Ben Bramer, Carson Hansen, Brett Eskildson. Got them all on my roster, and everybody was mocking me like, "Oh, you're such a homer." Last night I just cleaned house. Bramer's throwing passes.
Yeah. How about Rocco?
Like, you goddamn right, I'm a homer. Williams Cyclones over here.
Yeah, no,
first place in the league.
Problem is you have a bye week. Your host. You have
No, I got good depth.
You got good depth.
Yeah. I have Texas Tech quarterback is my backup. It's not bad.
No. How about what did Rock have? Negative 25 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns.
Actually, Noah Wolf. We talked about this on post game last night. We talked about this very thing. One of the craziest stats you'll ever see.
It's a crazy stat.
Rocco Beck was he had 10 like 10 carries for minus 11 yards and 3 touchdowns. Never will ever see anything like that again. So the other stat that I pulled, which is crazy, I don't know if you did this yet. I mean, you probably sensed it, but I don't know if you thought about it. Iowa State had 5 touchdowns. 4 of them were 1-yard rushing touchdowns.
Okay.
The other one was a 3-yard rushing touchdown. Like, how crazy is that? Like, nothing came from other than the 1-yard line, basically.
How many big plays that didn't get all the way to the end zone?
Yeah. Wild. Which is weird how it all happened like that. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted Chase. Chase has got that cool. I never met Chase, but I think I'd like him. Like, he's got that swagger to him.
I was a Chase Sowell fan almost from the start.
Yeah, you've been all over this guy.
Yeah, but I became a really big fan when he kicked Iowa's ass in charity softball.
Nice.
So his dad's a pro baseball player, and so we had lost. Team We Will had lost to the team Swarm for 2 years running.
Yeah, it's bad GM.
Well, it was. So we addressed it in the offseason by getting Chase Sowell from East Carolina. No.
I got the game on in my office as we record, and they just hit him on that 44-yard play.
So Chase was adamant that I'm not losing a baseball activity against football players, and he spearheaded the group. Him and Tyler Moore. And I knew, but That's the funny side, but C-Dub right away, he went all around the outfield that day and signed autographs for every single kid there. He's just a guy that gets it. He fits in perfectly. His dad's electric on the internet as well, and I think he's going to have a great last half of the season here.
Like the white uniforms too.
Yeah, I thought honestly
pretty slick.
Kudos to everybody. The presentation was super nice all the way around.
Iowa State marketing it great to have all the towels and all the different seats, and just like that takes a lot of work, planning, and I really a fantastic day.
Yeah, well done, everybody.
MoveWhatMatters.com. You can give with the Iowa State University Foundation. Our magazine article's out on Dirks. Came out, I think it should be in all of your mailboxes.
Awesome.
Came out on Friday. I had a lot of people tweeting at me.
Online anywhere?
Yeah, I do have a link, and I'll send it. I'll send you guys a link. But we're trying to help raise money for the Pet Cancer Fund at the Veterinary College. So that's cool. I love working with the foundation. You guys, man, you got a good thing going on with that group. The people there right now are unbelievable.
Yep. We had a
really happy to be their partner.
I would say that crew is going to be valuable here. I would say it's an interesting point university-wise in transition, obviously, with President Winterstein retiring at the end of this year. And the people, the foundation folks, including the donors and supporters, they're a big part of this. And Iowa State's in a super healthy position, by the way, to recruit a new president because of all of Cyclone Nation for supporting that way. And so Iowa State's going to find a really, really good successor for President Winterstein, and then ultimately you got to stay healthy, as we know in this time frame. We've talked about the dynamics of just college athletics, but I'll include all of higher education, and the foundation keeps that thing going.
No doubt about that. All right, it is time for the Wiffles Hybrids Big 12 segment.
Every year, you have a choice. One that says staying independent and family-owned means something on your farm. So plant your independence. Plant Wiffles.
All right. Harvest is definitely happening, you know how I can tell. I don't think I was the only person. There was something going on this weekend. I can barely keep my eyes open because of my allergies.
I got something going, pal.
Oh my God. Out in that RV lot, and I know I was not the only person too. There's that tree line.
There's something in there. Between those and those little bugs.
Those damn beetles.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Drove me nuts. 5-0 though. 5-0. Not complaining.
Plant your independence. Plant your Wiffles, baby. All right. Well, let's talk about the Cincinnati game.
Yes.
That surprised me.
I was surprised.
That surprised me. I thought that I still think Kansas is a really dangerous team. That they looked exactly what I thought they would be, really iffy on defense, but good on offense. None of that has changed. But that's a statement win for Cincinnati to go in there on the road and win that game as almost a touchdown underdog. Sorsby's playing well.
No question. Sorsby,
good player.
Rocco's been great. Sorsby's right there with quality Big 12 quarterbacks right now. And he
threw for 388.
Yeah, 388.
Yeah.
Interestingly, post-game win expectancy, C-Dub, Kansas was 75% win expectancy for that. So there was some weirdness in the way Cincinnati ended up winning that game. But regardless of that,
they had 603 yards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But Kansas had 602. So
yeah, it's a deal with Cincinnati. The skill guys are greatly improved there. They went in the portal and they did some work. The concern with Cincinnati I would have is their back end of the defense got victimized quite a few times by Kansas. And I think it's going to be really interesting if Corleone's out, what Iowa State chooses to do to attack. I think the best offense here, a lot like Fafita against Arizona, is keep the ball, time of possession. If you can get up early, do it. And, Cincinnati's been able to run the ball as well, so you can make Sorsby be a little bit more one-dimensional. I think Iowa State's corners would have a better time with that. But, no, when you're third in the country in offense, over 600 yards per game, 8 yards per play, you don't luck into those things. So this is a much more dynamic team. Satterfield's done an actually impressive job to get that thing going. And they have as much, probably in Cincinnati, as much good vibes as Cincinnati's had since they played in that Sugar Bowl against, what was that, Georgia in 2020?
Even their one loss was impressive.
Yeah. They had
most
Nebraska
people
down to...
Yeah, and that was like a true road game in Arrowhead Stadium. If you remember, it was the first night of the year.
Yep.
Non-Ireland. So they've been really good. We have all week to break them down, and we'll continue to do so.
But it doesn't surprise me, C-Dub, that this is a pick'em game. And, it's...
the insight on that, Iowa State opened a 2.5 point favorite, and it swung within a matter of hours to Cincinnati now being almost a 2-point favorite. So it's like a 5-6 point swing in less than a day.
Yep. And what's that over-under? I mean, I think both
51, 52.
Yeah. See, I think that could steam higher, by the way. I would go under, too, but I'm saying the public sees Cincinnati as a dynamic offense.
No, I'm saying it'll go higher.
Yeah, I think it'll go higher. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I bet it closes 54, 55.
Totally agree.
Friday night was a fun one, the TCU and Arizona State game. I think just two really good teams.
Yeah.
I don't really feel any different about TCU after they lose 27-24. I did think that did go the way I thought it would, though. I think that Arizona State, as you saw, and as we try to get across on this show, you simply cannot take, they lost at Mississippi State. Mississippi State was bad last year, so they must be bad now. Mississippi State almost beat Tennessee on Saturday, so they're a lot better. Did that? Yeah, absolutely wish the Big 12 had that win, but with the way that they bounced back at Baylor and now they beat TCU, Arizona State is right back in the driver's seat to win the Big 12. They are right there in the Big 12 power ratings. Non-conference loss be damned.
Yeah, then they kind of stole that one Friday night. I mean, TCU.
But you got to do that.
You got to do that. Yeah, you're gonna have to win a clunker or two, and that was a clunker for them in the first half. But they gutted it out, and that's a tough-minded team. So I agree. They're going to be there to the end. Looking at the odds, C-Dub, they are there, but Tech is starting to run away from an odds perspective, as you might imagine. And that doesn't mean it's disrespectful to Iowa State. Iowa State's second in odds. But I think Tech's living off of the reputation, again, and that really nice win that Texas Tech had at Utah. So right now, let's just run down the odds for you real quick to win the Big 12 Conference. Tech's 180. Arizona State's second. I misfired there. Arizona State's second at 360.
Okay.
And then Iowa State's 550. Utah's the only other one at less than 10-1 at 950.
TCU may not be a bad little flyer.
No,
after
they're 12.
That loss.
And Cincinnati's creeping up, though. Cincinnati's up to 8th at 20-1 to win it.
Okay.
So worth noting. I mean, these things shift. Tech, though, eye test wise, I think it's those three. And I think Utah's loss at home is going to kill them because that's going to end up being a deal breaker. And
then they bounce back and just kill West Virginia, which is good for Texas Tech. It just makes that look better for them.
Absolutely. That, from Big 12 wise, there was a lot that went right for the Big 12 on Saturday from who it wanted to win.
Well, and Florida State losing helped.
What do you do here? Okay, I'm gonna do it. Throw a hypothetical. And I know what your answer is going to be. Check out Notre Dame's remaining schedule. All right.
Oh, they're going to be in the playoff.
But they don't play anybody.
I don't care. I'm telling you, they're going to be in the playoff.
Do you think?
Yes.
I
wouldn't put them in the playoff. I'm telling you, it's a television product. It's Notre Dame.
But look at the schedule.
If they're 10-2, they're in the playoff.
Look at the schedule left, and it is sad. It is a schmockery. The only game they have really against anybody with a name, well, do you count Boise State? I don't really anymore.
USC.
Is USC. That's it.
And they just lost to Illinois. You got by 50 the week before.
They literally, all Notre Dame has to do is beat USC and then not screw up. And they're going to be back in the playoff. Again, what I said earlier, college football is
Brent, it's not my opinion. I'm just telling you, they'll be in the playoff if they're 10-2. If it comes down, honestly, if let's say
anybody, they beat zero.
Let's say here's a hypothetical. Okay, Iowa State goes undefeated. They lose at TCU by 28-27.
Yep.
And then Iowa State loses the Big 12 championship game to Texas Tech by a touchdown.
Yep.
So you've got a 10-2.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame would get in over Iowa State.
Over an 11-2 Iowa State?
Yes.
Even though Iowa State would have wins over Arizona State in this hypothetical.
Yes.
Cincinnati, Colorado.
I think they would put Notre Dame in. I'm not saying I think that's how, I'm just saying I don't trust this system at all.
I agree with you, and that's why, as a logical human being, I can't do it.
It's not my opinion.
I can't.
It is my opinion that their opinion will be awful.
Notre Dame's odds to this is frustrating.
Are you about to prove my point?
Yes. Notre Dame's
spit it out, big boy.
Notre. Keep in mind, this is what I said. Notre Dame's lost twice already.
Yes,
including at home. Notre Dame's odds to make the playoff are even money.
Jesus.
Even though it has lost twice.
What is Iowa State's right now? Plus 900?
350.
600?
350.
350. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a better odds. But, that's my point. They think that there's almost a 4-time better chance that Notre Dame's going to get in the playoff than Iowa State.
Can they lose another one?
Can Notre Dame?
Yeah.
No. They can't get in at 9-3.
9-3 Notre Dame gets in?
No.
Okay.
That's where they would have to draw the line to keep the feds off of them. We all know it's rigged, but they can't make it that obvious. Right? They have to at least pretend that they're trying to be objective here.
Interestingly, Tech and Notre Dame have the same odds to make the playoff right now. And then Ohio State, C-Dub. This is funny. Ohio State's minus 2,000 to make the playoff.
Jesus.
So they're basically saying you're in.
I hope that Day loses to Michigan again.
I do too.
It's just fun. I don't even care. I want them to just keep losing to Michigan.
I want chaos, yeah.
And then keep going to playoffs, and everybody's going to try and. When's the first coach? Where will the first coach who goes to the playoff to be fired? Is that Franklin?
It might be. Well, okay, another stat.
They're going to the playoff. I guarantee you.
Their odds are minus 200.
They still have to play. They still have to play Ohio State, I think. But
here's a stat for you: since 2017, Iowa State's record against ranked opponents is 13-19. Penn State's is 12-23.
Yeah.
So why? Again, that's not a small sample size, C-Dub. That's 8 years. Why does Penn State continually get the benefit when they never win anything? They really don't. Now, they
it's
don't
so
lose.
Funny. I got on.
I
was watching the end of that game up in the press box, and I pulled up Twitter, and one of my odds maker buddies, he literally tweeted, "All right, Drew Auer gets an opportunity to prove us all that he doesn't just screw up in big moments." And literally 10 seconds later, he throws the interception.
Franklin has one win over a top 10
Imagine
team.
if Rocco was the quarterback of that team.
No kidding.
Don't say that out loud. I shouldn't speak that into existence.
Stop that.
I'm just saying, the other thing, Joel Klatt did a great breakdown of what he considered to be the top 10 quarterbacks in college football a couple weeks ago, and Rocco was on it.
Good.
Yeah, he said a lot of really nice things about Rocco, and it just got me to thinking about the money ball aspect of all this, and because Rocco's done what he's done without these he doesn't have NFL players all over the place like Drew Auer does.
No. Penn State has two. That's the problem, C-Dub. Is if you just go on recruiting rankings and talent, then it's going to be the same 8 teams over and over again. So why do we keep giving them every advantage?
But then they want to get it so they don't have to play the other teams too. So then nobody will know.
That's just
right? Because nobody's going to have a clue at all.
There are days I'm like, what are we doing? But then you have days like yesterday where it was you saw so many people out there, wonderful atmosphere, so many Cyclones. A lot of people came in from out of state and said hi to me. Appreciate you all for stopping by, and man, that makes it all worth it. Even though days I was like, you're banging your head like, what the hell's going on out here?
It's time!
TryWebwise.com is where you can go, and you don't need to spend tens of thousands of dollars on a website. These people, I've worked with these big agencies. They will rip you off on these websites. TryWebwise.com. Get you what you need. That's what I'm using for my book that's coming out in November. Webwise, they're creating it. Should be up in a week or so. TryWebwise.com.
So on X, Bloom_tracker tracks the percentages.
And you don't know who's doing this?
I don't, but thank you, whoever you are. You're my hero. Currently, I'm at 52% for the season. And
it should get better from here.
It'll get better. 62% overall since Bloom Tracker has been tracking. So I assume that means over the last couple of years.
You want to know what's crazy is, so I'm using the Action Network for these odds. Right now, for the entire Week 6 slate in college football, Iowa State Cincinnati is one of the most heavily bet games in the entire country next year. Right now.
All right.
And it is not going in Iowa State's way.
Yeah, which is chip on the shoulder.
So that's a 1 point spread. 1.5 is the biggest odds on Cincinnati that I can
And that's
find.
11 a.m. Do we have TV network for that so people can plan accordingly?
ESPN 2.
Okay.
And for those of you wondering about Colorado, we'll know that on Monday.
I would guess. I know nothing.
That will be a night game, right?
Night game. Yeah.
Almost has to be.
You the reason you have Colorado and BYU on your platform is so you can play at late games.
All right, let's get after it. West Virginia at BYU. This is a Friday night game, 9:30 kick.
Again, BYU on a late night. There we go.
Yes.
I led right into that.
After dark.
After dark. BYU, 17.5.
That is a win, 19.5. Well done. Kansas State is at Baylor. The Wildcats beat Central Florida on Saturday.
Who? Say it again.
Kansas State at Baylor.
Gosh, Baylor put up. See this today? Baylor put up 700 and some yards yesterday. Oklahoma State fired its defensive coordinator.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
They fired him after Gundy got fired? Like they can do that?
I don't know who's going to be coaching then. Like they're going to run out of coaches. They already don't have players. So let's just fire all the coaches too.
That's wild. No, I hadn't seen. I've never heard of such a thing.
They fired Todd Grantham today.
It's not Todd's fault. Jeez. Like,
we're scapegoating everybody. Now, do they still have to pay him? I bet. They got to save money.
They must really hate that guy.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, he must be a real pain in the ass behind the
must
scenes to do that, because at this point, you're just taking any help you can get there.
So if you want to volunteer to coach, email your resume to Kevin Weiberg or whatever his name is at Oklahoma State. Okay. So Baylor is hosting K-State?
Yes. And this is an 11 a.m. kick, so it goes head-to-head with Iowa State.
Baylor is a 4.5-point favorite.
That's a hit. 6.5. Ooh. Man, you're just towing the line right here.
Towing line. 2-0, Bloom Tracker.
Okie dokie. Not a lot of great games next weekend. Okay, Oklahoma State is at Arizona. 2 o'clock kick. This must be like an ESPN Plus game or something.
Oh, gosh. I don't know who's going to be...
Good luck here.
Oh, man. At Arizona?
Yeah, it's at Arizona.
Oh, my goodness. 18.
18.5.
Oh!
Doing the bull dance. Feeling the flow. Working it.
Over-under on that thing's got to be immense. 60-some?
I don't have the energy to look it up.
I don't either.
Yeah, there's just not many games next week. Like there's a lot of buys across the board. All right, here we go. Saturday night, 6 o'clock. Texas Tech at Houston. The Fighting Fritzes with
survived.
The survival. Were you still up?
I did not. I did not make it up to the end of that one. Did not. Did you stay up?
I stayed up until the fourth quarter started, and then I finished it in the camper. So yes, I watched the end of the game. Yes.
Good for you.
Come on, man. Like, listen, when the games are on, like we only get like 12 of these. Like I'm all in. I'm not missing Big 12 football.
I had My friends at Westo brought me some of their Oktoberfest.
Oh yeah, Ian brought me some too. It's delicious.
Put me to sleep.
It is. That is good.
It's really good. Tech here is a 13-point favorite.
11.5.
That's a win.
Kansas is at directional Florida.
My favorite of this week was just call them mid-Florida. I was like, that's good. I thought it was really good.
That's good. I like that.
Kansas is there?
Yep.
Yikes. Oh. Yikes. Kansas, 2.5.
3.5.
It's another win.
Blum is on fire. You only have one Big 12 game to go.
I'm like the Europeans in the Ryder Cup. Come on, USA. What was that? Frustrating.
Kind of a disgrace.
They played better today, but it was.
I mean, and then they're like the vulgar chants and like it just.
Yeah.
You know, I've been out to Bethpage. I went to a U.S. Open out there once.
You went out there, yeah.
And it was a really weird crowd. Like,
I kind of
real Long Island vibes. Like it didn't feel like a bunch of like tourists were there. It felt like you were.
I think it made Scotty Scheffler uncomfortable. He's like too nice.
Well, and I'm mixed because I think golf needs to get the corn cob out, and just enjoy.
That's why I like the event.
Yeah, I like the event, but there can also be a point where it goes too far, and then it's a little cringe, and then you're embarrassed for your own country.
Yeah, we don't need to be telling Rory McIlroy to F off and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it is golf still.
It's still golf.
Do you see where I'm kind of like in the middle?
I do.
I'm like, all right, but I don't want to like rein them in too much.
No,
then it takes the coolness of the event away.
It's my favorite golf event, but it disappointed me because I planned my Sunday around that, and then it didn't matter. Now it was close.
I was watching Chase Elliott go to victory lane in Kansas. I'm so pissed I wasn't there. I almost drove down there. If it weren't for the night game, I would have been there. If it would have been a 2:30 kick, I would have been there to see Chase in victory lane.
Well, congrats to it's a big weekend for Chases again.
Yeah, great weekend for all the Chases.
Yeah.
Okay, Colorado at TCU.
Gosh. What is Colorado going to be when Iowa State gets there? I really wonder. TCU is a 10-point favorite.
Oh, this is the first Blum miss.
No, it's not.
14.5.
Oh, I went low. Okay. That's a lot. That surprises me.
The game of the week in college football, I'll give you a stab at this one just for fun. Miami at Florida State, old school.
I reminded the Twitter audience that, do you know the last team to beat Miami?
The Iowa State University varsity football program.
Yet Iowa State doesn't get any credit for that. Anyway. And Cam Moore played. Do you know who didn't play? Darian Porter or Jaden Higgins.
Yeah.
Neither of them played a snap.
Jaden Higgins' first NFL touchdown today.
Way to go,
Good for him.
Way to go, Jaden. I would say, is that in Miami or at Florida State?
That is in Tallahassee.
Ooh. This is straight up pick 'em.
No, 4.5. Miami's a favorite.
Really? On the road?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's screams play Florida State to me.
Yeah, do you know where I'm thinking?
The number one system play of all time, and I'm pissed that I didn't pick up on this for my locks of the week on Iowa Everywhere, where I did go 2-1. I'm on a heater. The easiest bet to ever make was this weekend with USC at Illinois. After Illinois lost by 50, and it was like a 9 a.m. local kick for USC, and everybody's just been loving them up, and like the whole LA thing, right? Like, so it's not like it's just like, blue collar team. It's Lincoln Riley. Like, he's bitching about the kick time. Like, that was the most obvious upset we should have seen coming.
It's like the Denny Green. They are who we thought they were.
Yeah. I texted Hassel on Saturday morning. I'm like, this is like the most obvious bet to make. You have to go with Illinois here. Yep. And they suck. He's got this thing against Bielema for some reason.
He has a hawk on.
But you got to just look for that. So like now everybody's going to be down on Florida State.
Yeah.
Everybody's telling Miami how great they are. This is an obvious.
Bye.
You just take the points in the home team.
So
They're doing the chop.
So for the record, does that count against my record?
No, I don't think so.
So I only missed one this week?
Like if it was a Tulane game, it would count. I didn't see a South Florida line, so I looked. I think those guys are all off.
Another interesting note to keep an eye on this week: Arkansas fired its coach today.
They did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Bobby Petrino's now the interim, which is hilarious. Like time is a sort of flat circle.
Yeah.
But also, these jobs are coming up earlier and earlier. See, we now have, I think, 3 Power 4s or 4 Power 4s open by October 1. And so those players now have 30 days to get in. There's 2 names that I heard floated for that job.
Golish.
Number 1 was Rhett Lashley at SMU, and then 2 was Golish.
Yeah, I actually heard Golish with Oklahoma State too.
Well, so another good possibility there. So yeah, keep an eye on our friend old Alex Golish. He may end up in one of these here soon. I think if I'm him, C-Dub, I'd jump this year. Because they're not getting in a big conference. They're not.
No. Man, that Arkansas job just feels like impossible. I would
What do you that's why if I'm Lashley at SMU, C-Dub, I think that's a better job. I think SMU's a better job.
I completely agree with you. I was actually just going to try and argue, I don't know if I can intellectually do it, that Oklahoma State's a better job than Arkansas.
Yeah. Yep.
Only because, Arkansas would be so much better off if it was in the Big 12.
Absolutely. They're just going to be...
It's kind of like when Chris Ash, keep with the Iowa State assistant theme, went to Rutgers. Man, you're getting generational money, but you're going to get killed there, and then you're never going to be able to get another job.
That's where if you're...
There's just not many Arkansas success stories. For some reason, they have a great fan base.
Big money.
They have money.
Places.
They can't win. They can never put it together and win.
That's a great point. When is the last time they did much?
Why aren't they better?
With
the Walmart money?
They should be better. With not even the Walmart money. The Walmart money, the JB Hunt money.
Yeah.
Plus, Jerry Jones.
They should be better. So maybe they have that to sell. Maybe we're looking too much at history.
That's true.
Maybe they're maybe they're like Texas A&M that thinks in this new era
we're going to be good.
This is our time to shine.
I think
maybe that's the case. Maybe Arkansas is a better job than Oklahoma State. That was a silly statement. I said I cannot intellectually make that claim.
I think the point is
you have a better chance to win at Oklahoma State.
What's your chance? What's your better chance of making a playoff? And it's honestly super because we just talked about it. Where if you're 9-3 in the SEC, CW, you're getting in though. Probably. So I think the Golish one, he'll have an interesting 6 weeks where he ends up. He's got a big decision.
Well, I'm trying to think of who else could jump.
Let me throw this at you. What about Lance Leipold at Arkansas?
He's too old.
He's 61.
I don't think he's looking to move. That would be a stupid move for him. I would stay at Kansas. You got everything you want. You can run your own program the way you want it. Expectations are totally in check. You're in the twilight of your career. I've heard sources that Lance likes it there because the AD just leaves him alone. And it's kind of like Matt's deal.
Well, if you're
Jamie doesn't micromanage Matt, and Lance can pretty much do what run your program.
So I think Lance and Matt are in a similar spot in some contexts. With both those guys having kind of the run of the place in a good way, the autonomy. You don't have that at Arkansas. You are at the mercy of all of that big money, which can be uncomfortable for people.
Fun show.
Maybe they go back to the Petrino well. No, they can't do that.
They're going to hire one of those old sleazy SEC guys.
Can Hugh Freeze bounce over there now?
Who's a Dan Lanning guy? Does he have a D coordinator that was with him and has been through the SEC? That's where you look. They're not
one of the Golish. I'm telling you, Golish is going to get a look there.
Does Virginia Tech go and get my guy Beamer at South Carolina? I would make an intellectual argument that that's a better job.
Does he want to get out of the South Carolina?
Well, they're
question?
like, every time you lose, they want you fired.
I know.
Like, if he goes to Virginia Tech, like, oh, okay, if we go 8-4, we're really happy.
I
He
also
grew up
wonder-
there.
Yeah. When does the coach carousel ever slow down money wise? Maybe it won't. Maybe it never will. Maybe.
It's too early to be having these conversations.
September 28th. Real quick, last note for me, then we'll call it a day. This is the 29th anniversary today of Troy Davis's 378 yards against Missouri
God
in
bless you.
1996.
We need those statistics. These are important parts of the show. You shouldn't leave it till the end.
96, 378. TDO meter was going crazy that day.
Appreciate you, buddy.
So yeah.
Brent Blum, my name is Chris Williams. We'll be back on Wednesday. Inside Zone coming up on Monday. Daily Clone with Jake Brand every day this week here on the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network.